Welcome back, football fans. We're going to do some Week 6 recapping. Again, I do excuse the late upload. I was doing some stuff for the next few videos, deciding what I'm going to do. So we're going to get right into this Week 6 recap. And do remember that tomorrow we will do the Week 7 predictions. So here we go. First game of the week was on Thursday. San Diego defeated Denver 21-13. Trevor Siemian had a decent game, 30 for 50, 230 yards, and a touchdown. The Broncos completely abandoned the running game. I think there were 15 rushing attempts in all for them. Phillip Rivers went 18 for 29 for 176 yards and a touchdown. And then you had Melvin Gordon rushed 27 times for 94 yards. So I didn't do too well this week as far as picks go. So San Diego wins. Buffalo defeats San Francisco. That's one I did predict right. There wasn't many of them, but that was one of them. Kaepernick went 13 for 29, 187 yards, a touchdown, and 66 rushing yards. Tyrod Taylor went 17 for 26, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The big story here, though, is LaShawn McCoy, 140 yards, 3 touchdowns. And then the 49ers being 23% on third down conversions, which seems to be the norm for them at this point in the season. Jacksonville defeats Chicago. Decent game by both quarterbacks, but it was 17-16. It's a 1-point game. The one thing that would be worth pointing out in this game was the fact that Jacksonville had no running game whatsoever. And for Chicago, Cameron Meredith had 11 receptions for 113 yards in this game. I'd never heard of Cameron Meredith before, but him and Hoyer seem to be connecting a whole lot in that game. Next, we have Detroit defeating the Los Angeles Rams. Keenan played near perfect, 27 for 32, 321 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Kenny Britt had 7 receptions for 136 yards. And then on the other side, you had Matthew Stafford go 23 for 31 for 270 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then Golden Tate had 8 receptions for 165 yards. So a big day for the receivers this week for sure. Then the next one, which is the one that caught me off guard the most, was Miami defeating Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger went 19 for 34 for 189 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks. He was injured pre-halftime, and we learned that it was a torn meniscus, and he will not play on Sunday at New England. So that's a good thing for all the fellow Ravens fans. Like the Niners, they were 27% also on third down conversion. Ryan Tannehill went 24 for 32, 252 yards. The running back, I don't remember his first name that well, but I think it's Ajayi. I can't for life remember his first name, but he used 25 rushes for 204 yards. A big day for a couple of the running backs as well. Ajayi had a big game. Frank Gore had a decent game. Matt Jones. So a good day for rushing and receiving. New England defeated Cincinnati Not much to say about this game besides Brady went off as usual. He threw for 376 and 3 touchdowns. And also, Vontaze Burfict is going to be under review for a couple cheap shots during the game to LeGarrette Blount and I think Rob Gronkowski. I think are the two he's under review for. So we'll see what comes out of that. Let me just put it this way: the AFC North everybody lost in the AFC North this week. Very, very bad. Next, we have New Orleans defeating Carolina. Cam Newton played decently, threw for over 300 yards. Did throw a pick, but threw 2 touchdowns. Not too bad. Jonathan Stewart ran for 2 touchdowns. But the story here is Drew Brees threw for 465 yards and 4 touchdowns. One from Brandon Cooks and one from Mike Thomas are the most notable receivers in this situation. Now to the hardest part of the weekend. Baltimore losing to the New York Giants. I'll have a rant video probably about the Ravens, probably this weekend at some point. But Joe Flacco goes 26 for 48 for 307 yards. It's not very often that you run into a Ravens game where there isn't at least one receiving touchdown. But it was just absolutely up and down with the Ravens this week. But the one good thing that comes out of all of this is we know that the Joe Flacco-Mike Wallace connection is working. It's incredible. But, again, we had the 2015 Ravens defense back, is what it seemed like today. Eli Manning threw for over 400 yards, 3 touchdowns. We did get 2 picks off of them, but could not capitalize. The big one is Odell Beckham Jr., 8 catches for 222 yards and 2 touchdowns. This looks exactly like the Ravens of last year. You know, for a while there, it was kind of like we were giving up. And then you got a score with under 2 minutes left, and then Eli Manning threw to OBJ, and then that was all there was of that. Tennessee and Cleveland. Let's talk about Cleveland for a second. Cleveland started former USC quarterback Cody Kessler. He goes 26 for 41 for 336 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad game. Terrell Pryor's really fitting into the wide receiver role well. He 9 catches, 75 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He caught both of Kessler's touchdown passes. Marcus Mariota, 17 for 24, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Marcus Mariota, if he's not on, or it's somewhere where he should be on the fantasy wire with his great game last week. So if you do have Marcus Mariota in your fantasy league and he is a free agent, I would definitely pick him up to back up, because for me, I have Roethlisberger who's injured. I have Drew Brees who, constantly goes off, but I can't start. I don't feel like I can start Brees over Roethlisberger, although I do have him starting this week. Also, KJ Wright caught one of the touchdown passes from Marcus Mariota. He got 8 catches for 133 yards. So Cleveland still winless. Same old Cleveland, right? Okay, next we have the Redskins defeating the Eagles. Carson Wentz not as impressive as he has been. He went 11 for 22 for 179 yards. But Kirk Cousins, 18 for 34, 263, 2 touchdowns. and a pick. It wouldn't be a Redskins game without at least one interception. And then Matt Jones ran 16 times for 135 yards and a touchdown. So like I said, big day for rushing and receiving. And then you had Kansas City defeating Oakland. Alex Smith, near perfect, 19 for 22, 224 yards. Very near perfect. No touchdown passes, but Spencer Ware rushed 24 times for 131 yards and a touchdown. And one thing I have to say about this game is one great thing is the Carr to Cooper connection. Dallas and Green Bay. Prescott went off, obviously. Cole Beasley caught 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott rushed for over 100 yards again. Ty Montgomery did a great job. 10 catches, 98 yards. Seattle defeated Atlanta. Controversial call with Julio Jones's arm being pinned at the end of that game. Houston beat Indianapolis. Nothing major there. Gore went over 100 yards. Then Arizona demolished the Jets. Fitzpatrick got pulled during the game, so Palmer didn't exactly go off, but David Johnson rushed 22 times, 111 yards, 3 touchdowns. So that was the recap, guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. I will do the picks for week 7, and we're going to see what games are this next week. Again, I think this weekend I'll probably start my new series, Rant on the Run. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave a like and subscribe if you can.